You know what they should have done? What they should have done is this. If Nidoking was on the active spot, and there was Nidoqueens on the bench, your poison would do more damage. 10 for each queen on the bench. It would have made it a little bit more viable that way, because obviously the queen has the heavy hitting. So, or if you have a kin on the bench, it's going to be dealing an extra 50 more damage. There's no way you're ever going to have 2 kins on the bench. No way. You're only going to have one at any one given time. Let's agree to that one. But like I say, what they should have done, they should have had it where if the queens are on the bench, your poison does more damage. Or you have a lower retreat cost if there were queens on the bench. Would that not have been better? Would that not have been more feasible? I think it would have been. Hey, hello you guys, what's going on YouTube? It's 3D Heroes, and welcome back to our Pokemon Pocket. And today I've got a kind of vent frustration video, and it is more so the fact that I have a real big distaste towards Nidos in this game. I really wanted a fantastic Nido deck, because this is what we was running yesterday. And I played 15 games exactly, and only got 3 wins out of the 15. Sure, sometimes we got super duper unlucky because of matchups, because of really bad draws or whatever. But in reality, the whole Nido deck, the whole Nido playstyle is so flawed. It is incredibly unfortunate because on the very first day, I was unpacking Nidos left, right, and center. I even got this card right here. This was the first ever full art I got, and it was out of my 3rd ever pack. I was so excited to run a Nido deck that I had everything set on day 2. And I left it up until yesterday because I was obviously playing other stuff in between and before that. And yes, I went to it and I kind of wish I hadn't, because it's just such a very heavy cost deck. You gotta have so much going on for you. The problem I have with the female Nidoran is that after the 2 male Nidorans have come onto the board, or they've been drawn into your hand, this is useless. And if you don't have, obviously, your female Nidorina in your hand, it's even more useless. At that point, you're pretty much giving up a free point to the enemy. It's such a shame that there's this whole idea that you have to really have double of everything in here. I tried it yesterday with only one of the kins, which did not go down well, because obviously the queen needs to have the kins on the bench in order to actually be buffed. I also tried it with only one of the queens and 2 of the kins, and again that really didn't go down well, because the kins in general, they just don't have much staying power. They really don't have much staying power, and it sucks. I mean, sure, they poison, but it's an attack, a free cost for 100. It's not very effective when it's literally the final Pokemon on the evolution line. It just really feels... Oh, and also, the retreat cost. I had to interrupt myself there, because otherwise I was going to lose what I was going to say beforehand. But a retreat cost is also really bad. It's a free cost to retreat. You got a free cost to play your move. I don't like this, man. I understand Nidoking is a lumbering giant. Yes, I understand that. He needs to use all of his energy to get out of there. I understand that. But my goodness, it just doesn't work in his favor. Because when you've got a Nidoking out there on the active spot, you want it to stay there. You don't want to be bringing it out. Of course not. And then, you know what the funniest part about yesterday was as well? Is that I literally got absolutely murdered by a Mienfoo. At the very beginning, Mienfoo was murdering our Nidorans. I eventually put a stop to the deck on 1, only because they got very unlucky with a coin flip on Marowak, but it was just... wow. It's just crazy little things like this that really do pick at these very weak Pokemon. It sucks. It does. I mean, yes, there are some shining highlights in this deck. They work against Psychic. But then again, you can say any Dark deck works against Psychic. It does. Yes, it won me a match against Mewtwo. Came very close against certain other Mewtwo matches. But yet again, you can say that Dark does that anyway. Because it does. You would only go out of your way, I feel like, to run this deck. Or any form of this deck. Because you just like the archetype. You just love the whole Nido aspect as a whole. That's pretty much it. To this very day, and probably for a very long while, I haven't seen a single Nido deck. Not a single Nido deck. There's a reason why people don't play this. Because it's terrible. I was also thinking of ways that somehow it could be made better. Obviously only having one queen in there or one kin in there and two of the other. That didn't work. Maybe obviously having double X speed didn't even do justice either. Maybe double red card, double Sabrina, whatever. It's very hard to build around this because you got 12 cards. And at that point you literally have only 8 slots left for you to put other stuff in. There's no reason for you to be running double energy in this. That's a no-go. That's an absolute no-go. It just feels so ambitious that you're going to have everything in here to work. But then at the same time, it's so incredibly flawed, as I said before. But other than already existing cards, maybe they could add stuff into the future that would help it. Like other dark types could somehow boost things like these. Maybe you could have other dark types on the board that can boost the damage of your other dark Pokemon. Could do, for instance. Or you could have other trainer cards that can boost dark type Pokemon. Similar to what Giovanni does. It really does suck that this is probably the only archetype in the game that doesn't work. It's the truth. This is the only one in the game that just flat out refuses to work. Like, flat out. Everything around it is getting built up so much quicker, much more efficiently, at a better pace. And as you stuck here a male Nido ran, or possibly a male Nido ran, Nido Reno, Nido Huno. It's just not great, man. It's just not great. But yeah, there's just so much I feel like they could have done better for this. They could have even notched down the retreat cost of Nidokin. I understand that Nidoqueen is a 2 retreat cost, which is a little bit strange. But then again, if you really want to go into the whole realism of side of things, the Queen is always weaker than the Kin. If you want to go ahead and say that, you can say that. you can definitely say that, my friend. I would agree with you, but at times I wouldn't. Because it's very, very silly that the Kin has to stay out there. Heck, the Kin can't even fend for itself, for goodness sakes. That's the most funniest part about this. If you have a single Kin on the bench and you're running Nidoqueen in the active, this is 130 damage a pop. Or it's going to be 80 damage. You're only going to get an extra 20 damage if you're using Nidokin on the active spot. You know what they should have done? What they should have done is this. If Nidokin was on the active spot, and there was Nidoqueens on the bench, your poison would do more damage. 10 for each queen on the bench. It would have made it a little bit more viable that way. Because obviously the queen has the heavy hitting. So, or if you have a Kin on the bench, it's going to be dealing an extra 50 more damage. There's no way you're ever going to have 2 Kins on the bench. No way. You're only going to have 1 at any one given time. Let's agree to that one. But like I say, what they should have done, they should have had it where if the queens are on the bench, your poison does more damage. Or you have a lower retreat cost if there were queens on the bench. Would that not have been better? Would that not have been more feasible? I think it would have been. But it's just so annoying to see such a really... could have been a really potentially fun, like, gameplay that you could have had out of these guys. But now it's just... it's gone straight down. Straight down. And it ain't coming back up anytime soon. Like I say, this is a vent frustration video. Just sucks, man. I really wanted these guys to work. I really did. It's funny as well, when I was looking at deck videos for Nidos, I only saw one. And that was from Dexter. That was it. That's the only one that I saw. And he had exactly the same deck as what I was running yesterday. And I didn't even know about it prior to that. Because that's pretty much all you can do, really. Like I say, there's nothing else you can put in other than your trainer cards, because you got 12 of these fins hidden, you got one extra 8 in. It's hard. It's incredibly hard. It's so cost inefficient. Oh, man. Let me know what you guys think about the Nidos in the comments below. Please do. Please let me know if you've actually considered running these fins, or actually have ran these fins. Because I would love to find out. I really would. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for coming to this video. I really do appreciate it. If you're really, please do hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button as well. If you want to see the next video or the next live stream, go out there, play some Pokemon Pocket. Maybe play a Nido deck if you really hate yourself that much. Other than that, guys, goodbye for now. Bye-bye.